Today we're going to do a bit more work on algebra and simplifying, and sometimes this is also called collecting like terms. So I'm going to start by going through something we did yesterday. So we talked about a plus a being 2a and how that is very different to a times a. What's that? A squared. That's right. Remember, they are two different things. And what we're going to focus on today is we're going to focus on simplifying when we are adding them together. So if a add a is 2a, what do you think b add b add b add b add b would be? What do you think that would be simplified to? That would be 5b, because we've got 5 lots of b. What do you think 3c add 7c simplifies to? That would simplify to 10c, because we have 3 lots of c and another 7 lots of c, so altogether we have 10 lots of c. And what do you think 5t plus 7t subtract 3t simplifies to? Well, if we look at this bit first, 5t add 7t would be 12t, and we still have this subtract 3t, so we have 12t subtract 3t, which is 9t. So we can still do the sum just the same way as we do if we had 5 add 7 take 3. So they're going to be the first types of questions on your quiz today, and this is collecting like terms. Now, this word is very important, like. The reason I can put all of these bits of algebra together is because this A is like this A. These B's, well, they're all B's, so they can go together. This one is all C's, so they can go together. And this final one are all T's, so they can go together. So what happens when they're not like each other? Now let's look at this one. We're asked to simplify this expression. So the first thing I will do, and I want you to do this as well, this is your example. So pause the video and just copy that example into your book. Now, the next thing I want you to do, and if you've got a coloured pen, it's always good to do, but you don't have to use a colour. I want you to circle the terms that you think are like each other. So 3a is like 4a. Notice I circled the add as well as the 4a because this add tells me that I need to add them together. So I have 3a add 4a. I know that's 7a. Now I'm going to look at the other bits. Is this b like this b? It is. They are like terms. So I can put them together. We have 2b, it's a positive 2b, subtract a b. That b is a 1b on its own. So I have 2b's, subtract a b. That gives me just 1b left. Now, you can write the 1 if you want. In maths, we don't tend to, but it's fine if you do. You're not wrong. Now, because I've said 1b, it's a positive number, so I'm going to add it on. And I'm going to just write a b. If you do write a 1 there, that's fine, but just know that we don't normally, if it's a b on its own, we just write b. So this expression simplifies to 7a add b, and we can't put those two together because they are not like terms. Each of these is a term, and we are looking for the ones that are like each other. When we find the terms that are like each other, we can put just those ones together. Okay, so I am asked to simplify this expression. So the first thing I need to look for is like terms. Can you see any like terms? Pause the video, copy it down, and circle if you can see some like terms. Okay, I can see this one and this one. And notice again, I have included the sign for that term in when I've circled it. That gives me 5x subtract 3x. I can do that. 5x's, take off 3x's, leaves me with 2x's. So 2x is part of my answer. I have collected my like terms. Are there any more like terms in this question? Pause the video and underline any more like terms. This has a y and this has a y. So they are like terms that I can put together. I have 2y's, it's a positive 2y, and I am adding on the 7y because there is an addition sign just before the 7. 2y add 7y is 9y. 9y is positive, so I am going to add it on. So the answer is 2x plus 9y. I can't put those two terms together because they are not like each other. You try this question. Pause the video, give it a go now. Remember, you can only combine like terms. Now we're going to have one more try, just where it gets a little bit harder because there's some negative numbers involved. So, looking at this question now, get your pen, pause it and try and circle the like terms. So I can see that 4p is like this 6p, and notice again I have included the negative sign because this tells me it's a subtract 6p. So the first little calculation I've got is 4p subtract 6p. If I have 4p's and I take off 6p's, I will be left with negative 2p's. That is a negative number, so on my answer I will write the negative. Think really carefully when you're writing your answer whether something is positive or negative, and if it's negative, do write that negative. Now for the next one, well, they're just numbers. So they're still like terms, even though they've not got a letter on them. They're both numbers, so I can still put them together. So now I've got 7 subtract 2, because there's a subtract before that 2. That's telling me I need to take it off. 7 subtract 2 is 5. 5 is a positive number, so I am going to add it on. It's really important you think about whether your number's positive or negative. That'll tell you whether to put a positive or negative sign, whether you add it on or take it off. And that is the answer. That's that top one simplified. You have a go at this one now. Pause the video and see if you can simplify that expression. Remember, you're only collecting like terms. These are my like terms, and I've included the negative sign. I can do that sum. 6h, take 2h, is 4h. So I know there is a 4h in my answer. These are both numbers, so they are like terms. I've got a 4, subtract a 7. Make sure you're looking at those signs. 4, take away 7. You can use an underline, draw it in your book if you need it. Gives me negative 3. That is a negative number. That is a subtract. So I am going to subtract 3. So the final answer is 4h subtract 3. What I would like you to do now is the Firefly quiz on collecting like terms. If you would like to also give Hegarty Maths Clip 156 a go, you can. But the task you have to do today is the Firefly quiz on collecting like terms. Please go underneath this video and do the Firefly quiz on collecting like terms now. Thank you. Hopefully see you soon.